Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making a date and walnut cake. It's a great tea time snack. So let's get started. We are going to take 1 cup refined flour in my sieve. To that, I'm going to add a pinch of salt and 1.5 teaspoon baking powder. Let's pass all of this through a sieve. Now that we have sifted our dry ingredients, let's take a look at the wet ingredients. For this cake, we are just going to use a whisk and your arm strength. We don't need to use any electric mixer in here. The cake batter shouldn't be very light in this case. We are using walnuts and dates, and if your batter is too light and fluffy, they're going to all sink to the bottom of the cake. So let's get started. So we start by taking 2 eggs and whisk it. To that, we will add about 180 grams of refined sugar. Now let's add in our vanilla extract. This is about 1 teaspoon or 5 ml. To that, we are going to add about 100 ml oil. I'm just using regular vegetable oil. Try to use an oil that doesn't have a strong flavor. Just keep mixing it well so that it forms a good emulsion where the egg, sugar and oil all mixes well together. Now I'm going to add our sifted flour mixture in 3 stages. So I have mixed the flour in 3 parts and I'm using a whisk to mix it, but I'm not over mixing my dough, my batter. The other thing I want to mention is I've kept a little bit of flour here. What we are going to do is we are going to add our dates to it as well as the walnuts. And we are going to coat it with the flour. Okay. The reason we do this step of mixing the flour with our dates and walnut is that it prevents the dates and walnuts from settling to the bottom of our batter. Already we've taken precautions to make sure our batter is not too light, and this is a second step that will make sure they don't sink all the way to the bottom and get evenly distributed throughout the cake. Now let's fold this mixture into our batter. This is called a cut and fold method, where you cut from the center and then you fold from the sides. We mix this using the cut and fold method. This makes sure that we don't overmix our batter, and whatever little bit of air we've tried to incorporate into the batter with the initial whisking will still remain. Now let's pour it in our prepared mold. This mold that we have, this is already greased and dusted. It's about 9 inches by 4 inches. Let's put our cake batter into our prepared mold. So we've already poured our cake batter into our prepared tin. So our cake is now in the oven at 375 degrees, and we will be baking it for about 30 to 35 minutes. See you later. Our cake is now out of the oven. We will let it cool for about 10 minutes in the pan itself, and after that I will be taking it out onto a cooling rack to cool it further for about an hour, and then it's ready to eat. All right, so our cake has been cooling for about 1 hour. Now I'm going to cut it. You can see how the dates and walnuts are evenly distributed throughout the cake. Our date and walnut cake is ready to eat.
This smells delicious. Yeah.